This is Otaku Station broadcasting our analysis of Cowboy Bebop Episode 2. We brought this up last episode. How many anime have you seen that has scenes set in a toilet? Outside of
a dirty toilet.
Yes.
Dirty toilet.
Outside of a school horror anime with Hanako-chan.
Yeah.
But this is definitely setting a tone.
Who was in Enter the Dragon? Was that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar?
I believe so.
That's exactly who you're thinking of.
That's who this is.
It is.
Yep.
Abdul Kareem in Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Right. That's exactly who you're thinking
Especially that, he's getting lined up in a kung fu move. I'm like, okay.
Yep. We'll also call out what this is implying in terms of his ability with martial arts. We saw Spike's ability to take on one-on-one, but this character's ability to take on 3 people at once is a whole nother level.
Yeah.
3 armed people, and he did it with a smile.
True. So what we're doing here, I think, is establishing pattern, where we're seeing the same thing we saw before. Bebop arrives at a place to go after a bounty. And it should be pointed out, now we're on Mars.
Yes.
Yep.
Well, one of the things I like how they repetitively use this is that this gets us to accept that this is the technology. Don't think too hard about it. Here it is.
Yep.
And we use it over and over again. We just go, okay, it's the thing.
Yeah. This is the Indiana Jones plane going across. This is just what travel is like. Yep. Also, I just have to call out a bit of an anachronism here. We spend 7-8 seconds just on the special effects of the gate opening and closing because it's CGI and CGI is new, especially in an anime TV show. So, we can do this. It's so cool.
Well, this is 1998, so this is new stuff.
Absolutely. And let's call out how smart it is. They're not using CGI for character designs, right? They're using it for special effects. And I'm assuming the Bebop there because it was a very simple set of polygons that was probably just there they moved through. Cost efficient too in that sense. All right, so this is again a little bit of world building. It's goofy, but it's also very much like late night television, right? They're establishing that this is again a very diverse, weird kind of a setting where you have oddball shows on television or whatever you want to call this. So they're definitely having fun with it a little bit, but also the fact that we see what the girl has to wear.
Yeah. It's like a weird infomercial.
Yeah. And also it's setting again to our earlier point, that's not an outfit you get on a shonen series. Actually, it is.
No.
I take that back. But it's not an outfit girls would wear on television in a shonen anime. Right? So you can get away with this in this setting.
You almost expect a 1-900 number down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always chuckle when they have to establish you have to bring them in alive.
Yeah.
And what did they
The
show
gallows.
in the background?
Bless you. Again.
Ah. 1 second, I need to blow my nose.
Sure, yeah.
Don't know where that came from. Yeah.
I'm going to hit the bathroom in the meanwhile, so I'll be back.
Yeah, a week ago I went into a sneezing, blowing nose loop where you blow your nose and you have to sneeze and you have to blow your nose.
Good Lord. Bless you.
All right.
That's somewhat better.
More phlegmy build-up kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think that's also that particular scene is also, I think, to establish maybe to other people like censors to let them know that, okay, you saw this first episode and we saw death in here, but we're going to try to make it a point to say, oh, this is not about blowing out the back of somebody's head at the end of each episode.
Yeah, good point.
This is something to say, okay, we're trying
to take them alive.
we're not trying to. The point of this anime is not to unalive people.
Yeah,
so,
exactly. Let's also call out how bored Spike is at an 8 million Wulong bounty.
Yes.
Yeah.
Considering his last one was, 250,000? So, telling us something. So, a little bit of world building here as well. Right? We see a greenscaped crater that appears to be open to the elements because the air is kind of flowing out of it, which is kind of interesting.
In the previous episode, we hear Mars is a place to live because it's where the rich live, and it's a classy place or whatever. Here we see an undomed crater. What did we see before on the asteroid? Everything's domed, everything's all that stuff. Here you have air literally just being shot out in these vents here, and it's okay if it goes up into the atmosphere, which also tells that there's a degree of terraforming on Mars going on. But in order to do that, you have to have money. You have to have people who want to live there, and not in a dome that could collapse at any moment and kill everybody.
Yeah, and look at how much green there is.
Yeah.
But to that point, our first shot is not of a, well, we're going to watch Gundam Wing, manor house on an immaculate field of green or anything like that.
Right.
We still have the dense urban streets.
Notice the lack of multilingual signage.
True. Also lack of graffiti.
Yeah. So it's dirty, it's grimy, it looks a little less nice, but it does have a sort of uniformity to signage that tells you this is maybe not as, mixed as society.
I mean, if what we saw in the asteroid was Kowloon, this feels more like Japan. This feels more like Tokyo, right? It's dense, it's crowded, things are kind of built on top of each other, but it's clean. Yeah. So what is this saying? This is a very bold image here. This dragon implies a few things symbolically, but I think also when we see this kind of thing in movies, we tend to think like Crime Syndicate.
Right.
So I think that's really what we're getting at here. And he's literally underneath one.
Yeah, like you would kind of expect the Tangs, like you're expecting a showdown from Big Trouble in Little China when they're between the two rival gangs about to go against each other.
Yep. Also want to call out just how much they think things through here. We see his image here, and it's reversed here.
Yeah.
Good point.
So going back to our comment in episode 1 about character design, the guy in the back left looks like he's from Hunter x Hunter.
Yeah.
Right.
And the bottom right looks like he's from a Satoshi Kon movie. So to our earlier point, this is very much a scene from a martial arts movie.
Yeah.
Idiot bumps into very dangerous person, escalates. Dangerous person shows why they're dangerous. Yeah. Classic tropes here.
Also interested in the doctor talking about, I could tell you what his face looked like before this, after the surgery. Didn't seem to be an indication that he, used growth hormones, because when he's grabbing that guy's face, his hand is like Andre the Giant-sized hand.
Well,
and the thumbnail is like the entire occipital orbit of the guy's eye.
Well, you also wonder, he reaches out for the drink and then gets hit by the guy. But I got a sense, too, that he's not very comfortable with his body.
Yeah.
Even as obviously skilled as he is with martial arts, you wonder if there has been a little bit of augmentation at some point.
So I'm reminded from Sailor Moon when we heard her neck.
Oh, yeah.
Crunching. So do you think they were working as a team?
Yes.
Bumbling idiot bumps in.
Maybe.
other guy is the watch because that case looks like it might be something good. Because it certainly feels like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go back and look.
There's not much of a reason for Bum Dude to bump into him.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. They're both looking at the exact same time.
Yeah.
You're right. There could be some stuff there. I had not noticed that. Good call.
Collusion.
Yep.
Gotta love those little details.
I was just gonna say that the detail that one hits the water slightly before. Yeah. Just. What is this place?
I like the fact there's an axe.
Yeah.
Like some kind of ceremonial axe with guns. Like, what the hell?
What Spike's doing here is pretty smart, where he's found Hakim, but he said, open the case, essentially to verify I found somebody with illicit goods, right? If this ends up being full of gold bars, he knows he's found his man. If not, well, then maybe.
Where did the ostrich come from?
Yeah, I said ostrich runs out.
Yeah, there's something definitely a little cartoony about this scene of just almost the clown car aspect of her shop.
Her shop there. Oh my gosh.
To the point of an ostrich running out. Episode 1, Mars is a different economy.
True.
So she is a purveyor of rare goods. Ein is a 2 Wulong dog. That's nothing rare. An ostrich, on the other hand, if somebody's got the money.
True.
So,
yeah.
Huh.
Good point. And I think at this point we get with the music, where it's kind of setting the tone of this scene, right?
Yeah.
As if the ostrich in the pet shop wasn't an indication enough, but we've gone very silly, almost Hanna-Barbera scene with this.
You could have changed the music on this and made it extremely tense,
serious
chase scene, like just really gritty and who's gonna win, and you just lighten it and make it delightful, really.
Absolutely.
It's kind of funny.
Well, and especially because we have the contrast here of Spike thinking he's found his man, given up. Now he's trying to get his man, but he is literally behind everything going on, to trying desperately to catch up.
How does throwing fruit at a dog
slow
it down?
Yep, and then
but that's that's Spike, single-minded. Like he's thinking, you know what he's saying? He's thinking Peking duck. Don't care about this game. Peking duck. That's what I want. Going through the game.
Yep. You also notice too here the difference in movement style, how Spike is almost loping along, conserving his energy. It's this very specific style of running.
I'm assuming that is a reference to the movie Fistful of
Dollars.
Yeah.
Sure. To our earlier point about the tone of this scene, we don't really get an action scene here. Because it's a goofy scene. It's not meant to be that.
Also, getting really intense action scene, fighting back and forth. It's a lot of animation. That's more money. So we're still, we're playing this, that we know the fight is happening. We're hearing the fight is happening, and we're still getting a lot of good other action without breaking the bank on one scene.
Yeah. Right. And being a chase scene, there has to be a lot of movement. So we have to conserve. You're right. Well, if we wanted an indication this was a goofy scene, I think we have it. Bruce Lee, upper middle.
That's up.
Yep.
That scene is an amusing scene of responsibility and irresponsibility.
Yes.
Indicative of Spike's character. As you're talking about, Steve, him running through, knocking the Othello game or whatever the heck it was out of the way. He's thinking about duck. Here he's responsibly walking Ein and parking a spaceship in a kid's playground. Irresponsible.
Yep.
So it's very interesting juxtaposition of that.
Absolutely. Let us call out kind of the layer of that line, right, where on the one hand it's very comedic, another moment in the great life of Spike. This is his life.
Yes.
This is pretty indicative of what the next 25 episodes is going to be.
I like that they pulled back to the scene where the cars had an accident.
Yeah.
And the railing's damaged.
Oh yeah, good call.
You know what I mean? It's like, thank you. So we're in a familiar space, and you're keeping it the way it was damaged when we saw it earlier. Like,
that's a great point. Again, it's almost like there being a fruit cart on the road.
Right. Right.
Ha!
Ah!
NC 1702.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's funny. Now, to your earlier point, Steve, or actually your point, John, with different music, this would be a very tense scene.
Yep.
You know, it's a ship flying through the city with all this kind of stuff going on. It's kind of presented in this dark way, but with the high energy music going, you realize this is more fun. And of course, it's not Hakeem's car.
No.
So one thing watching it now, going back over, is that Ein isn't hitting buttons randomly.
Right.
He's clearly reaching for certain buttons, which is your clue. I gotta love the sayonara.
Yeah.
They know exactly what they're doing there. All right, that's episode 2 of Cowboy Bebop. How would you contrast that with episode 1?
Well, episode 1 would be Bruce Lee, and episode 2 would be Jackie Chan.
Ah, yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So, you know, first episode serious. We're going after the bounty. We're setting these things up, and we know that we have a little bit of a banter, a little bit of humor.
Yeah.
And then we get into this episode where the whole thing is actually quite silly.
Mm-hmm.
But we're dealing with people who are martial arts. I mean, how many references did we see in that? Right.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, John, you were calling them out left and right. But while there is, you know, we see the stances and we see the movement, and, you know, a little bit of that going on. What we see more is the stunts as opposed to the actual fighting. That's why I say Jackie Chan with the humor of Jackie Chan.
Yeah.
And this is all about, you know, kind of reminding people that this is part of the team. This dog is going to be part of the team. So now we get part of the team in. And it's just silly and it's lighthearted and it's fun and the music is upbeat and everything. So we're getting a notice that this series is not going to be this totally, you're brooding, you're dark, you know, and no high drama just yet, you know. So we got some nice attitude. We got some nice, like, in terms of light attitude. The series can be light, we can be actiony, it can be humorous. And also, you know, as we keep saying about the music is a big driver of this series, and there's a reason for that. But, you know, so, you know, as we keep noticing, if this was going to be dark, John made a really good point about if this was going to be dark, the music would be totally different. If we changed the music on this, it would feel different.
Oh, yeah.
You know, absolutely. And, you know, like we have, this scene right here where it's just like, how slapstick can you get? Oh, your thing is coming closer and it's closer. Really? And it's right behind you.
Yep, absolutely. It's amazing how much this feels like it was designed to be a contrast to the first episode.
Yes.
To be more of a lighthearted, okay, we can let loose a little bit more.
Well, sort of bookending. With first episode, we have a lot of ultra gun violence.
True.
This episode, we have a lot of comedy. There's very little. The first shot we get is him knocking his hand up and Hakeem shoots in the air. And that attracts Spike's attention. Then we don't get any of the shooting things up until we get to this end scene. And it's just, you know, they gun the car a little bit. They gun at Spike a little bit. But Spike never opens up with Swordfish 2.
Yeah, true.
Hakeem never pulls out a pistol and starts shooting back. You know what I mean? It's the guys in the research van.
Yeah.
So it's like, it really gives you, in 2 episodes, it gives you a good idea. It's like, okay, there's a lot of different ways we're going to go with this show. We're going to swing from serious and violent to goofy and kind of funny, still physicality and violence, but lighthearted.
To that point, it's funny, I stopped here. In another episode, this would be a very serious moment.
Yeah.
right?
Oh yeah. This particular
Spike
scene, yeah.
beat up and very very serious, but he's going, you haven't seen me angry yet, It's a very funny moment.
Yeah,
you almost have expect when that comes out of his mouth. You almost expect the Bruce Banner. You all like me when I'm angry.
Exactly.
I like that shot too. I like the perspective on that shot.
Yeah. Well, and to that point, this is a comedic episode, but they're keeping up the visual style. They're keeping up the attention to detail. So they're saying we can be funny, but we're not going to suddenly turn into a spastic Sailor Moon comedy style, right? We're going to stay relatively grounded within our world, but funny. Yeah, and gosh, still looks beautiful. I also appreciate the attention to detail of the fact that they're tying up loose ends at the end of the episode, which again tells us something about their writing, that they're thinking through consequences of actions. So we can expect to feel satisfied at the end of an episode instead of just, oh well, that was a goofy one, doesn't matter. Excuse me.
And with regards to the railing bent from that accident, we're not just reusing scenery. Like we're cognizant of the fact that things have happened in scene, and relay that forward. So it's not just Scooby-Doo copy and paste, and they're just same window goes by. You've actually made the effort to alter the scenery after things have occurred.
Yeah, impressive. Think of anything else. I do want to see if I can find it. A little something for us animation fans, where you can see the digitalness in some of this. It's when he's running. Where was it? When Spike is, I think maybe even earlier. Where is this earliest shot of Spike running? I guess it's where, must be around here. Okay. If I can't find it, that's fine. We'll move away. Ah, there it is. See if we can get. So one thing you'll notice about this, kind of from an animation perspective, is that this is clearly digital compositing, where they've got a background that they are digitally blurring as it's going past, and so Spike looks a little too crisp in front of it compared to if you're doing it in the traditional way. It doesn't look bad, it's just that if you're watching it you realize, oh, this looks a little different than traditional cell animation, so you can see that they're still trying to figure out exactly how that's going to look right. Again, here they're pretty clearly digitally blurring the characters in the foreground as they're going past. So it doesn't look bad, but we're still getting those details exactly right.
Seems that way.
Seems that way. Any other thoughts on this episode?
Well, actually, from the animation point of view, one of the my favorite animation points at POVs is towards the end when Hakeem and the doctors go off the bridge directly into the police lot, where you see one cut of him screaming, the doctor screaming, and then this, but then you see actually the point of view of like if you were actually in the car following
true.
Into the police station, and you're just like, oh my gosh. But the thing about this shot and the rest of the video is, or the rest of the episode is that the episode makes it such a point from showing the gallows that we're not here to kill people, to the point of view of the silliness of this, and then we get this ending right here. We know as we're watching this, even if you're watching it for the first time, we know no one's going to die.
Right. Yeah.
Right. This is just meant to be hilarity as the ending, as the ironic ending of, oh, guess what? You're all going to wind up with the keys. There you go.
Also, I don't know why, but this reminded me of the police headquarters in Dominion Tank Police. Just throwing that out there.
It did. Me too.
For some reason, just there's something maybe about the way the lights come out or the design of the building. I don't know. Like the Puma sisters.
Oh yes.
anything else to note. No, I don't think so.
Do you feel like her character development or animation got a ton of love in this episode for being just this one character in this one episode? Like, her lines are just very crisp. Everything's clear on this one.
Yeah, she's really cleanly done.
Yeah. I remember Chaki Kanaka saying when he was doing Digimon Tamers, there's always one character that the writers end up really loving to write for. And I feel like this is one of those characters where the writers are like, she's fun, let's give her some fun dialogue and things like that. Yeah. All right, well, that is episode 2 of Cowboy Bebop. Woot. We'll see if we get something more serious or something more light in episode 3.
Ooh.
I would like to take a moment to address a myth that has spread online, and that is that Cowboy Bebop was not actually popular in Japan. Full disclosure, I was one of the people that spread that myth back in the day. Turns out Cowboy Bebop won a number of awards when it came out for voice acting, for individual episodes, for the show itself in Japan. It was very well regarded in Japan. I've been told that its DVD and VHS sales were also very strong. I haven't been able to find numbers, but yes, by all accounts, Bebop was popular in Japan, and notably, there's no record that it wasn't popular in Japan. I think that just kind of spread as misinformation online, so you can put that one to rest.